Hey everyone, welcome back to PlaycrastiNation Population 132. Today I am here to bring you guys some Pokemon Sun and Moon news. A new trailer for Pokemon Sun and Moon just came out this morning, and I know I wouldn't usually do a video like this on it, but since I'm delving more and more into the Pokemon world and, playing around with the thought of becoming a full-time PokeTuber, I thought I'd go ahead and try my hand at doing, not a trailer reaction, I hate trailer reactions, I think 90% of the time they're faked, but at least a trailer analysis. Just to kind of talk about what the trailer shows us, as well as what we can kind of infer and hopefully expect in Sun and Moon, which I am unbelievably hyped for. So the first thing the trailer tells us is that some certain Pokemon are thriving in the Alola region, and at first I had no idea what this was talking about. However, we do know that the Alola region is a tropical region, and just like animals or plants in real life, it would make sense that certain Pokemon might do better in that type of climate. And the first Pokemon that we see is thriving in the Alola region is Exeggutor, this beautiful, chunky coconut tree, but in the Alola region, he is chunky no more, he's been hitting the gym, and now we have Exeggutor, the Alola form, who has gone full giraffe. He actually becomes the Grass Dragon type, which is the only natural Grass Dragon type other than Mega Sceptile, who you can't even keep outside of one battle. He also comes with the ability Frisk, and overall, I actually really like this change to Exeggutor. As a fellow long-necked human being, I mean, Exeggutor is not a human being, but as a fellow long-necked person, I know the struggles he must go through on a daily basis of constantly hitting his head on low underpasses. However, I love this form of him so much, and it's really goals. Right now I'm kind of short and stocky. Maybe one day we can all hope to become more like the Alola form of Exeggutor. The next two Pokemon that are going to be getting a makeover in the Alola region are two of my favorites, Vulpix and Ninetales. And just when I thought these two could not get any cuter, this game introduces their Alola forms. This changes Vulpix from the Fire type to the Ice type, and it changes Ninetales from Fire to Ice Fairy, which is such a cool typing, and both of them look so majestic. It's so cool seeing the transition from a normal fox that you would see, I mean, I live out in the country, so I see them all the time, to a snow fox that you would find in a more Arctic or snowy climate. Now, we know there's 4 different islands in the Alola region, so it's pretty safe to say that these ones are going to be found on one of the more icy of the islands. Both Vulpix and Ninetales now come with the ability Snow Cloak, so they will be more evasive in the hail. Overall, this makeover is even better than Exeggutor's. I was pretty excited about Exeggutor's, he's not the most visually appealing Pokemon. Vulpix and Ninetales are already cute, and they made them even cuter with these ice forms. The next two Pokemon that we see are going to be getting makeovers in the Alola region are Sandshrew and Sandslash, and before I show you guys this is one I am so excited about because Sandshrew and Sandslash they're not necessarily my favorite Pokemons, but I love the design of them so much. The two of them, they're so cute. They just never really, brought much to the table in terms of actually battling, so I almost never use them. But in terms of design, I think they're two of the most well-designed Pokemon they have in there. And their Alola forms are even cooler, no pun intended. But here we have Sandshrew and Sandslash, the Alola form, which turns into... Sandshrew looks like something straight out of a Mario game. It looks straight like an enemy you would fight in an icy world in Mario. And both of them become Ice Steel type. Sandslash looks like he just went Icy Super Saiyan. Their ability is also Snow Cloak, so they're pretty much brothers to Vulpix and Ninetales, which we saw earlier. Assumedly, we can find these guys on the exact same island. And while an Ice Steel type probably is not going to be the best from a competitive standpoint, quad weak to fire, quad weak to fighting, they look beautiful, and I'm so excited to use these. So that's all of the Alola forms of previous Pokemon they've shown us in the trailer. Does that mean there's not more? Absolutely not. I predict there will in fact be more Alola forms of Pokemon, and if they're anything like these current ones, I'm all for it. I think it's very cool. I'm not exactly sure how the Alola forms are going to work in the grand scheme of things. I don't know if it only takes on those forms while it's in the Alola region, and if you then trade it to another game, does it go back to just a normal Sandshrew or another Vulpix? I'm not exactly sure. I don't really think it's going to work that way because you would have, the Alola form of Ninetales knowing perhaps Ice Beam, and then when you trade it back to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, for example, it wouldn't turn back to the Fire type and still no Ice Beam. So I think these are not completely different Pokemon. They are variations of a current one, but I think they will stay their Alola form no matter where you trade them. Overall, I'm very excited for Alola forms. I think the ones we've seen so far look very cool, if not from a gameplay standpoint, but from a design standpoint. I think I'd love to see like an Alola form of like Geodude, Graveler, and Golem, maybe on an island that's more based around fire and get some sort of fire rock or fire ground type. I think that'd be really cool to have like a molten Golem. If you've got Pokemon that you think would be awesome to have in Alola form, make sure you leave a comment down below because I'd love to read your suggestions and kind of get pictures in my mind as well. Moving on to the trailer, we now see that more new Pokemon have been discovered. As we've seen in all the past trailers, they've been slowly introducing us to some of the new Pokemon in the Alola region, and in this one we see a couple more. The first of which is Oricorio, which we actually find out has 4 different styles, which the trailer goes on to explain is one for each of the 4 islands in the Alola region. We've got the Baile style, which is fire flying. We've got the Pom Pom style, which is electric flying. We have the Pau style, which is psychic flying, and we have the Sensu style, which is ghost flying. What's cool about Oricorio is kind of a dance-based bird, and therefore each of its different styles are different dances of the world. Baile is more of a Latin dance, Pom Pom I guess is American cheerleading, I don't really know. Sensu is more of a Japanese style dance. I guess Pau, I don't know if I pronounced that right, is more of a, as you can see from the outfits of each of them, more of a Hawaiian traditional style dance. It's very cool because at first I thought the different forms would be kind of like a Deerling Sawsbuck type of thing, where, you know, different seasons, it's basically the same Pokemon, they just look different, but not only do these look different, they're completely different types, which I think is awesome. Look at these different dance moves. I wish one of them would just start dabbing left and right. We also find out that Oricorio has a move called Revelation Dance, which matches whatever type that Oricorio is. So Baile form's Revelation Dance will be fire, Pom Pom style will be electric, etc. Now onto my favorite part of Oricorio, which is its ability, the Dancer ability. The Dancer ability copies any dance move used by an opponent, and while initially that might sound just cutesy and funny, oh, he just did the tango, I'm gonna do the tango as well. Absolutely not. Volcarona tries to set up with a Quiver Dance, you copy it, you get the Quiver Dance bonus as well. Gyarados tries to set up with a Dragon Dance, boom, you get the Dragon Dance bonus as well. Now I don't know if it's only moves that have word dance in them, like Teeter Dance, blah blah blah, or if it'll be other moves that just involve some sort of dance-like movement, but basically, if Oricorio has decent stats, this ability could be phenomenal. Now I'm not very good at competitive Pokemon, but from a competitive standpoint, this ability seems amazing. And if it's on other Pokemon other than Oricorio, it could be absolutely phenomenal, because anytime an opponent tries to send out something that wants to set up on you, and you know it's going to be using a dance move, whether it's a Quiver Dance or a Dragon Dance, etc., you get all of the same bonuses that they get. The attack raises, the speed raises, whatever it might be. The next Pokemon that we see in this trailer is called Minior. Don't know if that's pronounced right. It might be Minior, might be Minior, Minior. It's one of those 17 options that I just presented for you. Minior, or Minior, I think it's Minior, because it's the meteor Pokemon, so Minior sounds closer to it. Minior is a rock flying type, much like a meteor, and its ability is Shields Down, which is actually pretty cool. Now, we don't actually know what Shields Down the ability does yet, but from the trailer we can kind of get some clues. As we can see here, after Minior is attacked by the Alola form of Vulpix, that is when Shields Down activates, and all of a sudden the outer shell crumbles and we are revealed with this inner thing that's inside of Minior called Minior's Core. So what I'm guessing is that Minior has 2 different forms, a more defensive form and a more attacking form. The first form, the defensive form, is the one when it first comes out into battle, and I don't know if it works like a substitute where after you take 1 hit, that form, so you can survive 1 hit basically, and then you go into this attacking form, or whether it's below 50% or below 25% or how exactly it works. But from the trailer, that's kind of what I gleaned about the Shields Down ability. It's going to start off as a defensive Pokemon with an attacker kind of hidden within. We also see that there's different color variations of Minior's Core. You've got a yellow one, a blue one, a pink one, and is that orange? It's kind of orangey, I guess. I don't know if this represents different types of cores, whether that's an electric core, a water core, a fairy core, and a fire core, or something like that, whether they can learn different moves because of that. The trailer doesn't tell us too much, but it's definitely something to look forward to. Overall, I like the design. It looks straight out of Super Mario Sunshine, which, not Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy, my bad, which is a game that I love, and therefore, I'm happy to bring this guy along. Next in the trailer, we see that Yungoos, a Pokemon that was revealed to us, I believe, in the very first, if not maybe second trailer. Yungoos does in fact get an evolution, who we meet here, and that Pokemon is Gumshoos, the normal type with the ability Stakeout or Strongjaw. If this guy didn't look like Donald Trump before, he absolutely does now, with the hands behind the back and the head, the comb over coming in full force. Overall, I actually kind of like this as a basic Pokemon. I usually haven't really liked the normal clones ever since Zigzagoon. I'm very much a Sentret and a Rattata kind of guy. I like the classics, but this one's actually kind of growing on me. I like the design of it a lot. The next Pokemon we see in the trailer is the Grass-type Pokemon Formantis, as well as its evolution, which is called Lurantis. Both of them are grass types with the ability Leaf Guard. The design on these Pokemon isn't my favorite in the entire trailer. They look pretty good. I definitely like Lurantis a little bit better. The whole praying mantis type of thing looks really cool to me. The one redeeming quality about these guys is that we see a new move in action, and that move is Solar Blade. Looks like it's straight out of Dragon Ball Z. Basically harnesses the power of the sun and then whoosh, smashes it down on his opponent, which actually seems really cool. Next, we see the pre-evolution for Mudsdale. Mudsdale was the Pokemon we saw in the last trailer that I initially thought was going to be this game's Tauros, Miltank, Bouffalant, whatever you want to call it. But he actually gets a pre-evolution, and that pre-evolution is the cutest donkey that you've ever seen, called Mudbray, who is just a straight ground type. Man, talk about puberty right here. Look at Mudbray and look at Mudsdale. That is puberty fully personified right in front of our eyes. Mudbray's abilities are own tempo or stamina, and I just love his awkward little bowl cut because I had the same thing growing up. I love it. I love it so much. I feel like Mudbray is my spirit animal, and maybe someday I can be a Mudsdale. That's all of the new Pokemon that we see in the trailer, so on to some more cool news. One is that you can actually call on the services of Ride Pokemon and use them. We've seen this kind of before in Pokemon games. In this, you can see a Tauros, you can see a Mudsdale, you can see some sort of water thing, and of course you can use Fly on your Charizards as usual. I don't know how exciting, how new this is going to be, but it's a cool feature nonetheless. Next, we hear about something called the Island Challenge, your rite of passage, which I don't know if it's going to be the equivalent of gyms or if it's going to be the equivalent of the Elite Four in this game, but it sounds kind of similar. What the professor tells us here is that the Island Challenge is about aiming to become the strongest trainer of the islands, or the Island Challenge Champion, which sounds very similar to me like this game's Elite Four. First of all, can we talk about how breathtaking this design of this forest is? I just had to stop here to show you guys that because, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. We see that each of the islands has a different trial captain. Here in the forest, we have Mallow, whose specialty is grass. We also have Lana, whose specialty is the water type. We've got Sophocles, whose specialty is the electric type. And finally, we have Kaiawe probably, whose specialty is fire type. And again, we see you're battling him here on the top of a volcano. I don't want to call it, but Alola form Golem? Make it happen. Next, we find out that powerful totem Pokemon await at the end of each trial. In this case, we have a Gumshoos, who is our totem Pokemon, and he gets some special fire aura inside of him that's going to raise his defense for whatever reason. They also have the ability to call on ally Pokemon to help them. Now, I don't think that this is a feature that we're ever going to see in competitive battling because it would honestly make things way too complex to add this and Megas and another thing we're going to talk about in a little bit in the trailer. I think this is solely for Pokemon Sun and Moon, just a little fun little, you're going to get to the end of your trial and you're going to fight this strong Pokemon. Oh, but he also has allies with him, so it'll be like 2 against 1. I think it's only going to be in-game. And if you can clear each island's trial, then you get to battle the Kahunas, which like I said, I'm still confused. I'm thinking it could be Elite Four. It could also be that the Kahuna is the gym leader of the island, if you will, where you have to complete a trial first. Or this could be very far post-game, I don't know. And after you've beaten the gym leaders, after you've beaten all the gym leaders, then it goes, okay, your Elite Four challenge is to beat each trial and then beat the Kahunas, which will be the Elite Four member, if you will. So in one case here, we have Hala, who is the Kahuna of Mele Mele Island. I've suddenly just noticed something in the trailer that makes me think this is not the Elite Four in any way, shape, or form. As we can see here, Island Kahuna Hala only has 3 Pokemon. I know they've been making Pokemon games easier and easier and easier over the years, but if you make the champion of the Elite Four have only 3 Pokemon, what are you doing with your life? To end the trailer, we see that there is a new way to attack, and these are called Z moves. Now, Z moves sound like they're going to be unbelievably powerful moves, and there's different ones for each type. The electric type Z move is called Gigavolt Havoc. The grass type Z move is called Bloom Doom. The fire type Z move is called Inferno Overdrive, and look at this Kamehameha. Look at that Spirit Bomb that just destroyed that Rufflet. And finally, for water types, we have Hydro Vortex, where you take them underwater and cause them to sink down to Davy Jones' locker. But one important thing to mention about Z moves is that you can only use one per battle. And the trailer's not very clear about what exactly that means. I don't know if it means each Pokemon, each type you have, can only use one Z move per battle, or if on your entire team you can use a Z move one time. I hope it's the latter, because from a competitive standpoint, if you let every Pokemon use one Z move a battle, I don't know why you wouldn't use that Z move, because it seems like they'd be very, very powerful. From a competitive standpoint, it would be awesome if I'm facing my opponent and he has 6 different type Pokemon and I have no idea which one he's going to use the Z move on me with. I have to be expecting that giant hit at any moment, and to me, that would add a lot of suspense to competitive battling. So that is the end of the trailer. Pokemon Sun and Moon available November 18th, 2016. Overall, this trailer showed us a lot of cool stuff. This is the trailer I've been the most excited for. I've watched them all. I've considered making a video about them. This is the one that I watched and said, I have to make a video on this right now because I am so excited. I don't even own a 3DS. I'm gonna be buying one and buying probably both Sun and Moon. Maybe even buy a capture card so that I can do a Let's Play for you guys on the channel. Haven't really decided yet, but if you are excited for Pokemon Sun and Moon after watching this trailer, you should be. Because we saw some awesome things between the Alola forms, the Z moves, new Pokemon in the region, and as well as whatever this Trial Island Challenge thing is. It seems like there is a lot going on here in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I personally cannot wait to get the game for myself. We're down to only a couple months away, which is, it's gonna go quicker than you think. So, I'm excited for it to come out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, if you'd like to see more of this type of stuff on the channel, I may consider doing it if the reception to this is pretty good. If it's awful, I'll go back to hiding behind no camera and just playing Let's Plays by myself. So, but thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe to become a citizen of PlaycrastiNation today, and I will see you guys next time.